can hear me. There we go. Good morning. I want to talk about the visit. I don't know what's going on with my screen over here. I'll fix it eventually. If I can figure out which box to hit first. Maybe that's it. Is that it? I don't know. Anyway, we'll take care of that and more. I'm assuming you can hear me. Did this shut off? Why is it not going on? There it is. It is going over there. Okay. I'm assuming you can hear me now. I know the music's still playing. Anyway, I want to talk about this visit by Vladimir Zelensky and go through some of the reactions that people have to it. And I want to hear your reactions too, because I'm dumbfounded. I got to tell you, I am completely dumbfounded by what is happening. I also want to mention, I want to talk a little bit about the Twitter files, the FBI, and the reaction, which is hilarious. And I got a couple other random things, but it's going to be a shortened show this morning. May do a longer show or another show this afternoon. I also have to, I got to set up my show for tomorrow. I'm going to try to have a big show tomorrow. We'll see. I'm going to send some direct messages to some people, invite them to join us and have a more healthy discussion. Because there's people who support the Ukraine thing, and there's people going like, what? We doing what? So that's what I'm going to hear about. I want to hear y'all first, and then hopefully we'll have some people come in and join us. But that's what the show's going to be about today. I hope you enjoy it. Johnny, I think it's time to play the intro. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yes, the host to figure out how to use the mute button and unuse the mute button. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll first stop the music. And I'm gone. What happened? What the hell happened there? Well, this is not good. This is not good. Where am I? How about this? There we go. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as the guy who doesn't know which buttons to click. Welcome to the show on this Thursday, the 22nd of December. A couple days before Christmas, I'm wishing you a merry one. I got my cup of coffee with you. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. That's a good cup of coffee. All right, so I hope you're having a great day. Christmas is just a few days away. And there's a snowstorm just ravaging our country right now. We have, in fact, I looked out in my yard and I had this picture. I put it on Twitter, but I'll pop it up on here because I just had to take this picture, what my backyard looks like. And, what the hell's going on here? Where's the damn picture? There we go. Here we go. So it's Snowmageddon out there. Now this is halftime of our Snowmageddon here. You can see how much is accumulated on the tree and the tables there. It looks like about 14, 15 inches of snow. It's not really that bad. Well, at least I don't think so. I don't recall my snowblower blowing up that much snow. But I got to tell you, this is more proof, absolutely straight up more proof of global warming. I'm just saying, it's more proof. I know. One event doesn't make it doesn't make the entire climate. But anyway, I want to welcome you to the show. If you're new, well, I don't know if anyone's new here. If you're new here, you got to subscribe to chat But I want to say, let's say good morning to everyone in the chat and get into the show because I'm already running pretty late. Although I may do another afternoon thing this afternoon. So we'll see. But anyway, first in chat over on Rumble. That would be Mike Savage, Blarg, and you get the bell. Thank you for joining us. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't scroll up all the way. It was Avocados Diabli who gets the bell. Sorry about that, Avocados Diabli. You were definitely first on Rumble. Also, Mike Savage, Blarg, Simon Wolfwood, Javanus Minehouse, a.k.a. Hig, Wild Saffron, and that's everybody over on Rumble. Please make sure you're subscribed over there, just in case I have another one of these little hiccups called the guideline strikes or whatever they do to me at YouTube. It drives me nuts. On the YouTube side, good morning, Avocados Diablos. It's the bell over there, too. You are just Johnny on the spot. Also, good morning, Ty Alexander. Yo. Mike Savage, Blarg. And then we got Simon Wolfwood, Rotten Corpse, Selecta Boy. Yeah, boy. Also, good morning to Trippy Liberty. What's up, my friend? Good morning to D.I. Freighter Watcher, Jim Beams. Let's see. I almost said Jimmy Das Hotep's in the house. That's the Hotep salute. Good morning also to Straight Sith Mail. Aaron Meredith, good morning. Keever Dam, what's up? Nice to see you in the live show. That's awesome. And please do me a favor, share the stream because I think YouTube does me dirty. I really do. I don't think my notifications go out on YouTube. In fact, if you have trouble getting notifications on YouTube, one, make sure you subscribe at Rumble because Rumble's notifications are much more on spot than YouTube. But also, if you look at if you follow me on Locals, that one for sure. If you follow me on Locals, you don't have to be a member. I would love to have you become a member. If you want to support what we do on a regular basis, that's the best place to do it. They take the least money away from you. Like YouTube takes 30%. So if you sponsor me over there, it's much less. And then also, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna be putting more notifications out via Locals than probably anything else coming up soon, including the status of my lovely bride, Lady Boomer, aka Left Shoulder, aka Laura. Her surgery yesterday went. Or excuse me, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I mean, or the day before yesterday. Her surgery went perfect. The doctor said that it was as textbooked as it could be. Normally it takes about 2.5 hours, and they got it done in about an hour and a half. Everything went fine. She spent the night in the hospital last night, and then now she's home up in bed, and she's going to spend most of her recovery time here. And they even upgraded her diet. It went so well from just clear liquids to actual what they call full liquids. So you can have liquids that aren't clear. So or even she can even eat really like multi-meal stuff like that for now until she heals. But everything went great. She's comfortable resting upstairs, and I'm very happy about that. I don't know. I'm not a medical person, so I don't know what to worry about and what not to worry about, and the closer we got to it, it would make me nervous, but she's doing great. So and she'll be able to probably within the next few weeks go back to eating somewhat normal food, and we'll just do what we do. Good morning, Asian Research Director, by the way. So we're doing great, and I'm happy. Let's put it that way. So enough about that. Let's get into the show because there's I want to talk about this Zelensky visit because that's the number one topic on Twitter right now, and it is FTG Thursday, and I get a feeling maybe there might be a few FTGs, but oh, by the way, thanks Somnambul Nation, Keever Dam, Hig, Simon Wolfwood, Jimmy Das Hotep, all you people who are retweeting my tweet or sharing the show. I greatly appreciate it. It's what we got to do to grow the channel because YouTube's not going to help me. They don't like me, but at least they finally got the message on this stupid strike they had. I get, it's a 15-month-old video. I would be done with the strike if they'd done it when they reviewed it 15 months ago. whatever. So thanks for everyone for sharing the show. And if you haven't done so, please do that. And you can also hit the like button or the plus sign up on Rumble. That's their version of the like. And then also, if you're watching replay, put a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think of the show. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you want for Christmas. Now, I'm not Santa Claus, but I know Santa Claus every once in a while shows up in the chat and leaves leaves something there, a little something, and that's always fun too. So anyway, now okay, I haven't noticed. Nope, not yet. What is going on with Streamlabs? Streamlabs OBS is really driving me insane. For whatever reason, my CloudBot's not working, and that's where you know where to do the thing, and it's not cooperating. So let's try that again. And no, oh my gosh, even on Streamlabs, you go in here and it says support the crisis in Ukraine, share information, resources, and a link to nonprofit organizations with a CloudBot timer message. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not from Ukraine. Look, sorry that y'all are having their little back and forth with Russia, but look, this is the same guy was bombing his own citizens, before the Russians came there, and because of that western or eastern region, Donbass region. I mean, he was bombing his own people over there, and everyone's saying that he's here. Okay, I'm getting way ahead of myself. Everyone's saying Zelensky's trying to save democracy, right? Except he banned any opposition parties. You'll see a video of something that you're going to go, oh my God, I can't believe they're doing that. This opposition leader that they made him do. But let's get into it. Okay. Because I'm just rambling now. So the number one topic on YouTube, or excuse me, not YouTube, but Twitter right now, because I love getting my news from Twitter. It's a lot of it news you get on Twitter is real time, and so that's the reason I like it, because sometimes you get stuff that's breaking. But the another one topic on Twitter is Ukraine, and that's because in this omnibus budget bill, right? They were there's another 47 billion to Ukraine. 47 billion. And I'm like, so right now, that total that we've given Ukraine during this conflict will be roughly $110 billion. Do you know that $110 billion that we are supplying to Ukraine to protect themselves from the Russians during this conflict is twice the entire Russian military budget? In fact, it makes them the third, just for this year, it makes them the third most expensive military in the world, behind the United States and China. 1 year. And I get that we want peace over there, but they're not promoting peace. It's just so weird. So anyway, I'm going to just go through some of the comments about Ukraine that are on Twitter right now, because this is fascinating. So you got our friend, not our friend, I don't know him from Adam, but Cat Turd, not another dime to Ukraine. I don't know if I need to be that blunt, but maybe you do. Dave Rubin just transferred my life savings to Ukraine. Hope my social credit score goes up. He's got his little Ukraine flags. Even now, this is Bishop Talbot Swan. Now, he's a jackass. But even, it's not just people on the right who are concerned about this money going to Ukraine. Biden and Zelensky headed to an ATM to add to the $60 billion in American tax dollars already given to Ukraine to fund white-on-white violence in Europe. They got money for wars but can't feed the poor. That's a Tupac Secure song. Is that what he used here? Oh, well, what? Oh, did I have that down? No, there's no sound on it. Is that just because there's no sound on that particular video? Maybe he didn't put. Let me see here. Oh, Lauren Boebert, to assist in the war effort, I'd like to offer Ukraine one of Biden's top nuclear experts. Luggage not included. I'm sure he's going to catch hell for that one. And I'm sorry. That's hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. Okay, hang on. Let me pull I'm going to make sure that there's no other crazy stuff on here. Here's CNN. Here's CNN with the report. President Biden says his meeting with Ukraine leaders sends critical message to Russian President Vladimir Putin, saying that we are united. Let's watch this clip. Wait a minute, something's wrong here. That's every one of these are up. Did this get unplugged? Let's see here. No.
Increasingly going after.
Oh, there we go. Okay, good. I thought it was just there's some crazy shit going on here. Real quick, Jabari, what's up, my man? Jabari's in the house. What's up? So thank you also for sponsoring the show. That musical thing is going to pop up, but I'm just going to read it now. Who says watching Zelensky last night was like seeing a crooked preacher with a collection plate for his building fund while he drives a Bentley. Oh my gosh. That is straight up fire there, Jabari. I'm tempted to just do a tweet snipe on that. Yeah, I mean, Zelensky with all his offshore money dollars that he has stored away. Again, there. Thank you again, Jabari. Here's Biden and Zelensky telling us some bullshit about their meeting here. Hang on. Let me go full screen here so you can see the whole damn thing. All right, here we go. Here it is.
Putin is increasingly going after civilian targets and women and children, orphanages. This guy is...
Okay, let's just stop. Hello, Jay Pylon. What's up? Nice to see you. Okay, this is a tactic that they love to use, and saying that Putin is going after women and children. And that may very well be true. But what this is all propaganda. Come on.
But
no, wait. What do you mean? Well, whoa. I'm starting this over because what did he do there? He started to say something.
Putin is increasingly going after civilian targets and women and children, orphanages. This guy is...
Orphanages? He's going after orphanages? Does anyone know about him hitting an orphanage? Did he just make some shit up?
Well, but he's going to fail. And he's going to fail. He's already failed because he now knows that
I thought he was already failing.
Going to occupy all of Ukraine. There's no way in which he's going to be accepted by the Ukrainian people. And so...
okay, I don't know. Is that something new? Is he attempting to occupy the rest of Ukraine? Hello, why are you so angry? Is that something he's trying to do? I have no idea.
He's failed in the past, and it was very important for him and everyone else to see that President Zelensky and I are united, two countries together, to make sure he cannot succeed.
United in
and
what?
I may be mistaken, but I know I judge every leader by the way what they say to me, their consistency, and looking me in the eye. This guy has to his very soul is who he says he is. It's clear who he is.
Why is he wearing
He's
a
willing
sweatshirt?
to give his life for his country.
Okay. So this is Joe Biden is looking into his soul. If we heard that before, is that somebody else use that line? Anybody know that one? Hello, Lord Stanhope, by the way, and Anna Lynn. What's up? So because you're looking into his soul, we need to give them another $47 billion. I'm confused. And I wish if someone can explain it to me. I don't know. With all the money the U.S. is giving Zelensky, expected Zelensky to be sitting in the Kremlin instead of Putin already. Yeah. I mean, like I said, they've doubled the Russian military budget to give to Zelensky, at least with this netless new 47 billion with a B. And then they have apparently okay, I don't know what. Ukraine drone drop of the 8th Battalion of Russia soldiers. Okay. I'm going to just go into the ones I have set aside. Let's start here. So obviously Zelensky came and visited visited the United States yesterday. And gave a speech in Congress, did a press conference, met with Joe Biden. And this little thing happened where he's giving Nancy Pelosi a Ukrainian flag signed by somebody. Oh, Jabari. Zelensky looks like he's going to play paintball. That is, that's hilarious. And so people kind of noticed, hey, and then this is the next picture of these two holding it up. This is starting to turn some people off. Even people who maybe support Ukraine. Thank you again, Jabari. That's hilarious. Why are we flying the flag of a foreign country in our United States Congress? And what kind of a message does this send to the country that they're fighting? Does this mean we're part of the war now? Are we declaring war on Russia? Because we're spending enough military budget to look, how much is our military budget? About 800 billion dollars. 1/8 of our military budget has gone to Ukraine. Does that make sense to anybody? Why a country that's not an ally of ours? I mean, we keep saying they're an ally, but how are they an ally? They're not part of NATO. We don't have a treaty that makes us an alliance with Ukraine. Now, maybe if they want to do that, Gamer Valid, I'm so happy to see you. Where you been? I threw a hi at you this morning because I hadn't seen you in a while. What's up, girl? So some people talking about this flag couldn't, and also he's addressing the Congress of the United States. Why is he wearing this gear? This like cold weather, field gear and not a suit? Tim Young, he couldn't at least wear a suit for the people who gave him over $100 million. You know what I'm saying? Someone here, a suit is only camouflage for greatness. When you're the state of greatness, that shows more action than what you can appear to be. I just thought from someone who doesn't wear a suit for a profession that requires it. I don't know what that means. And this, oh, this is cringy. Holy shit. And this says, it's funny how you salute Ukraine's military, but don't give a damn about America's military. Oh my God, Diamond and Silk throwing some fire at Nancy Pelosi. Where's your pro-American post, Nancy? And here's the other thing. And I know I'm not the first person to say this, but my God, we are, Furry Kitten, what's up? I see you over there on Rumble. What's up, my brother? I'm not the first person. I know I'm not the first person to say this, okay? But why is it that we are spending $100 billion to enforce the border in Ukraine? But this budget bill prohibits the use of budget funds to increase security on our own southern border? Anybody got a good answer for that? Thank you, Gunfox61, dropping me an article. Thank you, dropping the Hamilton in the tip jar. And I didn't even do well. First of all, I'm sorry. Well, no, because you did it on YouTube. Gunfox61, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Dropping a link for something over here. Let's see, what is this? Oh, Rachel Maddow. Matt Blog talking about Zelensky. Thank you. I will use that too. Also, thank you, Jabari. Another 5 spot in the tip jar says, funny, all these Christian GOP people don't talk about him shutting down churches before Christmas or locking up ops or his $20 million mansion in Florida. Yeah, no, the dude has billions of dollars in offshore. We're talking about Zelensky here. Billions of dollars in offshore assets that he has spread around the world where, and what's the point of having offshore assets? Maybe because you don't expect to be there. Marty, because they're all Democratic voters coming across. No, look, no, they're not. I don't think they understand this. See, even though all these people coming across, first of all, in theory, they can't vote, although something you can't see on YouTube may apply here. But even though they can't vote, remember, at least the Latino contingent of all the people crossing our border, they are Catholic. And when they get over here and see, where's that dude? Let me get a picture. Where's that dude that they just asked about? Here, hang on. Let me find it. The Latino contingent that comes across that border, when they see this shit, they automatically go, wait a minute, what? He's what? What's this motherfucker? Now, granted, he's in jail now, or he will be in jail. Maybe he'll be in jail. I don't know. By the way, I missed his arraignment in Minneapolis. That was on the 19th. No, they think they're getting voters. I don't know what they think. I have no idea what they think and why they are so adamant about letting people cross our border. But the fact that we're spending $100 billion, now granted, it's a different kind of protection of a border. But boy, oh boy, they don't have anything in that omnibus bill for our own border. That's crazy. That is just crazy. So anyway, let me get some other, just a few other things here. Oh, what's this here? Let me see here. By the way, oh Lord, here's these jackasses. That's something else. Thank you, Scribe Light, by the way, for doing the show here. So here we go. Now here's another one. This guy is saying, I went from being neutral and just wanting Americans to stay out of the war to now being against Ukraine. People think the J6 insurrection was bad. A foreign flag being flown outside the U.S., inside a U.S. Capitol, while a foreign leader makes demands of American people on American soil. Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? Anybody else see that as a problem? I certainly do. Thank you, Ty Alexander, for dropping a big bullet or small bullet in the tip jar. Appreciate it. Who says, Tyre says, so my coworkers want the budget passed because it means we will get funded and a potential raise. I am against. I'm not going to trade a temporary raise for long-term harm. 4,000 pages. Fuck that shit. Shut it down. Yeah, I hear you, man. If you didn't know, Tyre works for the TSA. And look, here's the thing, though. Even passing that budget, with all the crap in it, I want to do a stream just on that budget. There's a good thread on Twitter on that about the budget, which maybe I'll do. Maybe that's what I'll do this afternoon, because I am going to do a stream this afternoon, just about the budget. But all the other crap in that budget is stupid. And even if they don't pass the budget, Tyre, you will get paid. Federal employees will get paid. Social security checks will go out. If the government shuts down, the only parts of the government that shut down are the non-essential parts of the government. Everything else runs on autopilot. And the money machines don't stop going brrr just because they shut down the government. So y'all if you work for the government, you're still going to get your checks. Maybe some park rangers will be furloughed or something, but that's silly. Now, Zelensky put out this beautiful little video. Oh, why is he in there? He put out this beautiful little video. I want to thank the President of the United States for the warm welcome, and I deeply appreciate all the support the U.S. and of the U.S. and American people. I'm confident that together we will be able to secure a better, prosperous, and free future for both of our nations. Ukraine's victory will also be America's victory. How? Because yesterday he made this line about, oh, this is an investment. You're not just giving us money. This is an investment. Okay, what exactly do you have to offer as a return on that investment, Mr. Ukraine? Oh, wait, I know. I just thought of it. 10% for the big guy. That's the return on the investment. 10% for the big guy. That's why anyway, let's see this little video. I want to see what this little propaganda video that Mr. Zelensky put out thanking the United States of America. Here we go. There's going to be a music thing on here. Let's see what he did here. Let's look at this. Yes, these are American. Oh, and here again. Now look. Now this is not unusual. Okay, so if you have a diplomat coming from another country, you will have their flag there. So these flags in the same height makes sense. But that flag flying in the Capitol building, I'm sorry, I'm not so thrilled. No, in the military, our pay would be delayed. Certain banks were going to front our check. Really? That's not supposed to be how it goes. Oh, goodness gracious. I did not know that. Thank you for that. Thanks for correcting me there. Good morning, by the way, Renee Mayette. Joe is so feeble, too, man. She walks him around like he needs a railing everywhere he goes. Oh, so dramatic. Now, motherfucker, you flew over here probably on a private jet because, you know, your country's jet or whatever. Why can't this motherfucker wear a suit when meeting the President of the United States? This is all show. This is so he's so dramatic. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. Look, but I guess some people like it. Martin, U.S. Armed Forces don't get paid during a shutdown. They don't. God damn. That sucks. Hello, LA Prepper. Russia's not the bad guy. Ukraine is not the good guy. We need to let them sort the shit out on their own. Thank you, LA Prepper. I'm 100% with you. All right, here we go. So this is their photo op. Jill's just hoping Joe can walk straight. Lovely White Lighthouse Christmas decorations. Yeah, again, why is he dressed like that? Might as well invade Ukraine. They got hot chicks there. Well, there you go. We might as well just take it.
Well, Mr. President, it's good to have you back.
Why?
I'm delighted you're able to make the trip to be here, and it's an honor to be by your.
Okay, look at this. Couldn't Joe do this without notes? I wonder how big a print. I wonder how big the print is on that motherfucker right there.
Side in the united defense against what is a brutal war being waged by Putin. 300 days. Hard to believe. 300 days.
He is the captain of Heimer's battery. Yes, he's very brave, and he said, give it to a very brave president. And I want to give you that at the cross.
Okay. Look how designer his sweatshirt is too. At least he wore an ironed sweatshirt. But I don't understand the dramatics of this. This is not in a way this is kind of a state visit, right? I mean, let the Russian people fight amongst themselves, give zero fucks about what is essentially a dispute amongst a people. Hell, let's get Belarus involved and get the whole family involved. Oh, bedtime. Good night, Gamer Feline. You get some sleep from a friend. Nice to see you back. I'm really happy to see you.
Married. That is one.
God love you.
Yes, that is from him.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so they gave him someone's medal.
We have a few more people in here.
It's work for us. And really, that probably is air defense. Italy, for example, some team. The name, they have it. And
Okay, I don't care. I don't know why he put this video out. So anyway, Glenn Greenwald, haul them before. Oh, here you go. Any members of Congress who? Now here's something. So during this congressional address by Zelensky, there were a few people in Congress who did not clap. They just sat there and listened and didn't do anything. I know, for example, what's the gal from Colorado? Laura Boebert. She didn't clap, and neither did Matt Getz from Florida. And there were some people a little upset. Now, this is someone, Michael Betschloss, which I like to call Michael Bitchloss from NBC News. For any member of Congress who refused to clap for Zelensky, we need to know from them exactly why. Really? Why? I mean, is it required? Is it required to clap for another country? So Glenn Greenwald, sarcastically, I must add, said, well, haul them before a committee and force them to pledge allegiance to Ukraine or Zelensky, or else face long-term imprisonment in a supermax. Refusing to clap for a foreign leader on command is a form of treason. Yes, it is. It definitely is. And someone says, I'll just leave here. So this is the video I wanted to show you, though. So this is the former opposition leader in Ukraine, right? Look at this. This is the opposition deputy from Zelensky's banned party, because he banned all other political parties. Remember, this is about democracy, right? This is supposed to be about democracy. But he banned all other political parties during this conflict, like, kind of an emergency declaration, banning all political parties. Anyway, anyone who might be opposed to what he's doing, right? So this is the opposition deputy from Zelensky's banned party, OPFL, has been released from a pre-trial detention center on bail. They put him in jail. Local patriots broke his nose and forced him to kneel and apologize to Azov and other Nazi organizations. This is Ukraine fighting for democracy. So here's the video. They're forcing him to kneel before these assholes. This is a struggle session. This is democracy right here. This is the kind of democracy we want to support.
Слава Україні! Слава нації!
Yeah.
Україна!
This is democracy. Okay, so anyway. Oh, wait, what? Oh, this is from May 19th. Don't care about that. So anyway, that's weird. So let's get into some articles talking about this. Let's start with Cocaine Mitch, a.k.a. Mitch McConnell. So Cocaine Mitch makes it rain. Oh, by the way, thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for sponsoring the show. Appreciate it. Over on Streamlabs. Says... Okay, this is a musical interlude. There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we both disagree. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, for dropping the big bullet, the 357, into the tip jar. Okay. Let's talk about Cocaine Mitch providing assistance. He said providing assistance for Ukrainians to defeat the Russians is a #1 priority for the United States. Bullshit. Congress is considering an additional $45 billion in aid to Ukraine for any Grinches Volodymyr Zelensky allegedly visits Washington, D.C. today to dissuade them from stealing Ukraine's Christmas. The 45 billion amounts to almost a third of the country's gross domestic product prior to the Russian invasion. And about $130 for every man, woman, and child, demi-boy, faka lady, pandaka, two-spirit, and alternative gender in the United States. Did you catch that? $130 for every man, woman, and child and other types of humans in the United States is going to Ukraine. Now, this is Mitch McConnell. Now, this is the statement that everyone's kind of going, what? Providing assistance for Ukrainians to defeat the Russians is the number one priority for the United States right now, according to most Republicans, said Mitch McConnell. Wait a minute, what? According to most Republicans? What Republicans are you talking to, Mitch? Stupid bitch. Really? More so than border security? More so than shrinking the government? More so than depoliticizing and defanging the Justice Department and the intelligence apparatus? Republicans want the Ukrainians to win? Do Republicans, 45 billion, want the Ukrainians to win? You got to be kidding me. No. That's a quote from Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell, you're an asshole. Tucker Carlson. This is a Daily Caller. I'm just going through some stuff about this. Tucker Carlson lit into Congress Wednesday for fawning over Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky as the United States southern border collapse is complete. Let's just watch this because this is classic Tucker. And how long is this? You know what? I don't care how long it is. We're watching this shit. This is good. Before we do, though, thank you, Tyler Alexander, for dropping another small bullet in the tip jar. This one deserves some hip hop. We'll put some hip hop music. This one, Tyler Alexander. Here we go. Thank you, Tyler Alexander, for the small bullet in the tip jar. Who says? A beaten dog will fear you, but never respect you. He will obey you, but the first sign of weakness, or when he's had enough, he will strike you down. Break and chain my body up, but you will never break my will. I will wait. I will watch. And I will strike. Thank you, Tyler Alexander. That's a very, very poignant thought. Stop the music. Also, thank you, GunFox61, dropping another Hamilton in the tip jar. Oh boy, what am I getting here? Oh, yeah. I see what you're doing there, GunFox. We'll use that one too. All right. I'll push it over to the other side of the aisle here. Let's watch Tucker do what Tucker does. Real quick here. All right. Is this back up? Let's go full screen. We got that. Let's just start it.
In the air.
You're watching special Fox News coverage of President Zelensky's address to the U.S. Congress as the American border collapses completely. Our Congress turns its fawning attention to the border of Ukraine, and the man our Congress has been funding with your tax dollars.
Light him up, Tuck! Light him up!
May be much more profound than most Americans understand. Is still going. That speech is expected to wrap up in just a minute. We think it's important to hear it. We'll be back when it's over.
Okay, now we're gonna skip. Well, should we even watch the speech? I wonder. Maybe we should watch the speech. How much time? No, we don't have enough time for this. I just want to watch Tucker light him up. Here we go. Here's Tucker afterward. Mitch McConnell. There we go. Oh, did they? Oh, I see. Okay.
In their world at the cost of their.
Fearless.
I know that everything depends on us, on Ukrainian armed forces, yet so much depends on the world. So much in the world depends on you.
No, it goes back into Tucker here.
In Bakhmut yesterday, our heroes gave me the flag. the battle flag. The flag of those who defend Ukraine, Europe, and the world at the cost of their lives.
Okay.
They asked me to bring this flag to you, to the U.S.
Okay,
Congress,
now look at this flag that
to
he
members
gives
of
them.
the House of Representatives and senators whose decisions can save millions of people.
Just give us money.
Let these decisions be taken. Let this flag stay with you, ladies and gentlemen.
And
This
fly it in
flag
your capital,
is a symbol
because we
of our
own you
victory.
now.
In this war, we
God.
stand, we fight, and we will win because we are united. Ukraine, America, and the entire free world.
And then he gives them the flag, and what are you just taking? Look at that! Look. You know how he said this was a battle flag? Did they wash it and iron it? What the hell did they do here? Oh, look at Nancy. Look, okay, look at Nancy Pelosi. She's clapping like a trained seal with the big cheese and teeth going and happy. I'm surprised dentures didn't fall out. She's smiling so hard. Look at her. She's so excited. She is so excited. Oh, give me that flag. Give me that flag. Oh, ew. Ew. Yeah. Ew. Yes. Really? This is, and these, oh my God.
Just one thing,
Oh my
if
God.
I can, the last thing, thank you so much. May God protect our brave troops and citizens.
All right, I don't want to hear this
May God
part.
forever
I want to
bless
just go back
the
to
United
Tucker.
States of America.
You get the idea.
Here.
All right, let's go to Tucker.
Love him much more than they. Carlson, tonight, remember when Sam Bankman-Fried showed up in Washington wearing a T-shirt and spouting nonsense, and all the self-described geniuses declared him a hero? The media, the Congress, the White House, they all love this weird little guy called Sam Bankman-Fried. Do you remember that? Somehow we were reminded of it today when the president of Ukraine arrived at the White House dressed like the manager of a strip club and started to demand money. Amazingly, no one threw him out and said they did whatever he wanted. American taxpayers.
Dressed like the manager of a strip club. He kind of does, though. He looks like he does kind of look like that. That's hilarious.
Declared Joe Biden will continue to give Zelensky whatever he demands for, quote, as long as it takes.
Well, because there's 10% for the big guy.
Biden
Come
never
on.
specified what it is, as long as it takes to do what? Push the Russian army back to pre-invasion borders? Sounds reasonable. That's what most Americans likely assume.
Except
those
now
who are
they're
still
talking about
paying
giving them
attention.
Patriot missiles.
But that is not what Zelensky means. And it is
Offensive
not
weapons.
what he is asking for. Zelensky is demanding regime change in Russia.
How's that
just
going to
like
happen?
in Iraq and Libya and a long list of other failed states, except this time in the heart of the Eurasian landmass, next door to the entire civilized world. That's what Zelensky has called for repeatedly, and every dollar we send to him goes toward that end. And at this point, he's getting a lot closer to achieving it. So what happens if
wait
he,
a
quote,
minute.
wins?
Wait a minute. Okay, so if that's what he's asking for, if he's asking for regime change, and not just to go back to borders, let me think about that. That means, so that's why right now, because didn't Joe Biden just say he's going to give him Patriot missiles? Patriot missiles aren't defensive. Oh my gosh.
What does the ensuing chaos look like? Thought about that? Who's going to secure the world's largest nuclear arsenal once we help Zelensky topple the Russian government? Who replaces Putin?
There was a good
Strangely,
question,
those
too.
topics did not come
Is there
up
anybody
today.
better than...
Because that wasn't the point. The point of today's visit to Washington was not to make the world more stable or make wise decisions, much less to help America. That's always at the bottom of the list. The point was to fawn over the Ukrainian strip club manager and hand in billions more dollars from our own crumbling economy. It is hard, in fact, it may be impossible to imagine a more humiliating scenario.
Get up on that stage and dance. You need to, Nancy, he's got Nancy Pelosi right there. Nancy, get up on that stage and dance. Ew.
For the greatest country on earth. And we would love to blame Joe Biden for it, but we can't really, not entirely at least. This was bipartisan masochism. The Uniparty is alive and well despite the best efforts of voters, including last month. And if you doubt that,
Okay, I'm just gonna stop there. Look, why is this why Mitch McConnell would not fund candidates that weren't already that were not necessarily Mitch McConnell fans. Is that why in these states, these swing states where they could have had possibly had Senate wins, had the Senate money, the money that the Republican Party puts into campaigns, instead of fighting to get Lisa Murkowski reelected when she was being challenged by another Republican, couldn't they have used that money in Arizona, in Pennsylvania, in Georgia? But they didn't. Why? Because none of those three have any loyalty to Mitch McConnell. He would rather be the minority leader of the uniparty than a majority leader, because, well, he wouldn't have been the majority leader had some of these other candidates been in there. They would have fought for someone else to be the majority leader. So now we got the uniparty giving money to Ukraine. Now, why? Well, how many of these people in Congress benefit from this, the sudden surge in military weapons going over to Ukraine? Because guess what? I got a feeling that the defense contractors, that money, those money machines that are going brr right now. Guess where a lot of that money's going? Well, $45 billion to Ukraine. All right, I'm going to move on from that. Omnibus bill would bring U.S. taxpayer funds to Ukraine to over $110 billion in 1 year. Congress earlier passed this year $66 billion for Ukraine aid, and an additional $45 billion contained in the omnibus bill unveiled this week would bring the total to $111 billion. The amount would exceed tens of billions. The estimated average U.S. spent per year on full-scale war in Afghanistan. Figure that out. That's without having our personnel over there, which had more than 100,000 U.S. troops deployed in the country at one point. The Biden administration has pledged to support Ukraine for as long as it takes. Well, like Tucker said, what is it? What is it? What is it? Anybody heard that Tower Power song before? That's a great song. Anyway, the $45 billion in the omnibus spending is actually higher than the $37 billion requested by the Biden administration for Ukraine aid. Nearly 24 Republican senators support moving forward with the omnibus. Senators Roy Blunt, Joe Bozeman, Maura Capito, Collins, of course, Cornyn, fuck him, Cotton, really, Tom Cotton, come on, man. Lindsey Graham, no surprise there. There's no war that Lindsey Graham doesn't like, except for the war on the lightness in his loafers. Chuck Grassley, Cindy Hyde-Smith, Mitch McConnell, bitch, Mayor Jerry Moran, Lisa Murkowski. Oh, that's she got some money from the senatorial campaign committee. Jeff Overturf, what's up? Rob Portman, Romney, Rounds, Rubio. God, Rubio, Shelby, Thune, Tuberville, Wicker, and Todd Young. So anyway, Senate agreed on the motion to proceed to the omnibus. GOP in favor. That's who they are. So anyway. Now, interesting, Elon Musk put out a poll. Should Congress approve the $1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill? Now, granted, it's not a scientific poll, but 3 million people plus voted on it, and 72% said, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, 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 no. Anyway. What else they got here? On my way to... No. What did he say? This is Vladimir Zelensky. On my way to the U.S. to strengthen the resilience and defense capabilities of Ukraine. In particular, POTUS and I will discuss cooperation between Ukraine and the United States. I will also have a speech at Congress. Look, Vladimir Zelensky doesn't think it's enough. That's crazy too, isn't it? Hello, Jethro Hederer, by the way. Anyway, and then here's everything wrong with Congress's plan to give Zelensky's cash for Christmas. Do I want to go through all this? No, it's kind of extensive. Well, here we will, because I want to go through Gunfox's 2 articles too. But anyway, I'm skipping some stuff. I'm just going to put it in the tabs. I'm going to stick with Ukraine right now because this shit's crazy. Despite the financial strain that Ukraine has put on the United States, the swamp is ready to welcome Zelensky with open arms and more money. Okay, so this was before the his visit yesterday. So anyway, now it is the first time in theory that Zelensky's left Ukraine since the war with Russia began. But I don't know if that's true because, he's done a lot of that green screen shit, right? Anyway, but it's not his first time appearing before an American audience to beg for money, and it certainly won't be the last. Already Zelensky is prepared to use his congressional address to complain about the boku bucks the U.S. has thrown at Ukraine in the last 10 months. More than $100 billion total if the Omnibus passes is still not enough. Despite the financial strain Ukraine has put on the United States, the swamp is ready to welcome Zelensky with open arms, which they did. You wouldn't know it from corporate media coverage, but that's problematic. Here's why. 1, Americans do not approve of this. Contrary to Mitch McConnell's claim, spending taxpayer dollars on a proxy war in Eastern Europe is not a high priority on the list for Republican or Democratic voters. If Americans overwhelmingly reject going to war with Russia on behalf of Ukraine, which polling since the beginning of the conflict has said they do, Congress shouldn't be spending money that indicates that the U.S. is willing to prolong a war by whatever means necessary. Also, throwing dollars at Ukraine escalates rather than ends the war. Nearly half of Americans want their government to urge Ukraine to negotiate a peace settlement. Agreed. Instead of heeding the voters' wishes. The swamp extends Ukraine's ability to fight with more funds, weapons, and verbal support. Money for Zelensky solidifies U.S. involvement in a war that Congress doesn't seem to want to vote to declare. Interesting. Cash for Ukraine also takes away from necessary U.S. spending, while Congress funnels tens of billions with the B dollars to protect the border of a foreign country. Our country's border is virtually non-existent. Each day, thousands of illegal border crossers pour into the southern United States. These migrants put a physical and financial strain on our immigration system in cities all around the nation, yet Congress, specifically Senate Republicans, I'm going to repeat that, Senate Republicans, repeatedly refuse to leverage their influence for funding to secure our border. There's a couple people talking about this. In fact, here, Melian has been all over this from Fox LA. Several mass illegal crossings in Eagle Pass, Texas overnight, including this group of several hundred that crossed before sunrise. Title 42 remains in effect, but most of the people crossing in this sector are from countries T42 isn't enforced in. Majority are released. Yeah, the funny thing is, it's not just Mexicans and South Americans. Look, the people coming across our border aren't people who could have walked there from somewhere. A bunch of them are not from places where they could have walked to our border. Meaning, not from Central America, not from South America. You're getting Cubans, you're getting Ethiopians, you're getting people from all over the world are crossing into our border illegally on our southern border. Now, how do they get from someplace where they got to either take a boat or a plane and then cross our border on foot? And we're still letting them come in. You're here. Let's just put you over in this hotel or whatever we got for you, this tent, and we'll feed you and we'll give you a phone and we'll give you some food and we'll just, we don't care. Come on down. This is like not Bob Barker, but whoever the announcer for Bob Barker. Come on down. It's your turn for The Price is Right. Funding overseas wars when Americans struggle to afford basics is the wrong choice. While Congress ships taxpayer dollars overseas, Americans can't afford to live in the increasingly expensive homeland. As the retirement accounts dip into the negative, 1 in 4 U.S. parents reports they couldn't cover basic needs such as food, shelter, and care for their families in 2022. That's no surprise considering raging inflation has jacked up prices across the board. Well, if you keep spending money you don't have and keep printing money, printer go brrr, that's where that it's not going to stop inflation. The idea that inflation is going down. Last month, okay, the inflation rate went from 8.4% to 7-point-something%, but that doesn't mean inflation is going down. That's still over last year when there was already inflation last year. So you take your 3% or 4% from last year, add the 7% from this year, it's 11% just over 2 years. That's a significant bite out of everyone's budget. By the way, if you want to sponsor the show, our budget's fucked right now because, Anyway, so Americans now pay 49% more for eggs, 27% more for butter, 14% for milk, more for milk in 2021. Zelensky's handout is part of a destructive spending package. More than $45 billion. The more than $45 billion Congress designated for Zelensky is part of a sweeping inflationary omnibus bill that would fulfill Democrats' spending wishes before the newly elected Republican House is sworn in. Yeah, they're just trying to fulfill their wish list, and Senate Republicans are letting them. The legislation was conjured quickly with hardly any time slated for review or criticism. Because of that, Senate Republicans like McConnell face threats of gridlock from members of the new GOP House. Yeah, and I hope they do. I hope they tell Mitch to fuck right off. There are bigger foreign policy problems than Ukraine. Of course there are. As the world watches Ukraine and Russia duke it out, or possibly nuke it out, China, our nation's biggest threat, has been taking advantage of the Russian-Ukraine war. Thanks to laxity of the U.S., China crept its way into working relationships with Russia and created a hegemonic plan to expand its rule. The communist regime's boldness in expanding its Marxism and reaching for Taiwan will only grow stronger as America drains its foreign policy budget on Ukraine and military budget. We're giving all those, our weapon stash is down. Ukraine is not a top strategic U.S. security interest. Not only is Ukraine not our biggest foreign policy problem, but it's also not even a top strategic U.S. security interest. McConnell regularly justifies funneling dollars to Ukraine under the guise that spending is a part of an essential investment in American strength and security. But the truth of the matter is that spending endless money on an indefinite war in Ukraine does nothing for Americans but create a national security threat. True. The Biden administration is incapable of handling problems properly. Do I even need to read this one? Americans don't trust Biden to handle Russia-Ukraine war because every problem the Biden administration touches turns into shit. It doesn't say that, but I'm just interpreting for the people who speak P-Dog. Not only does White House exacerbate crises, but it also creates them. Take one look at the economy, the southern border, the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan, and the political war waged by the Department of Justice and FBI against Americans on social media. And you'll understand why our president shouldn't be so eager to be a cash cow for a foreign country. Well, yes, he's eager because 10% for the big guy. Anyway. And Ukraine is the most corrupt country in Europe. I'm not going to read the last one. All right, let me hit these two. I'm skipping all kinds of stuff just to go through this hell that Mr. Gunfox is trying to put me through. Where is these articles? There it is. Okay, so here he decided to show me Rachel Maddow blog about Zelensky. So let's go through this. Oh boy. This is the Maddow blog, Rachel Maddow. And we're going to listen to Rachel Maddow, fawn, and maybe, she probably won't do that. But anyway, Zelensky finally okay. Oh, fuck. I'm just prepping myself here. Zelensky finally gets the White House respect he sought and earned. This is someone by names. It's not Maddow herself. This is Steve Bannon. This is some fawning shit, I tell you. I prefer tits, little tits, and big tits. Tits, tracking information, targeting solution. What are we talking about? Oh, we were talking about defense system. Okay. I'm just looking over on Rumble. Hi, by the way. All right, here we go. Try not to throw up during this fawning over Vladimir Zelensky. Well, should we have some soothing music, some laid back? What is this on my screen? Close that. I need something kind of laid back. Let's go dreamy, laid back. Here we go. This is perfect. It's not uncommon for American presidents to welcome counterparts from abroad to the White House. It's far less common for foreign heads of state to address members of Congress in a joint gathering of lawmakers in the United States House chamber. But by any fair standard, historical standard, nothing about yesterday was normal. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Nearly a full year into a brutal war sparked by a Russian invasion arrived in the midst of crisis circumstance reminiscent of Winston Churchill's arrival in Washington, D.C. around Christmas 1941. If U.S. and Ukrainian officials hope to send a signal to the world about strength of our alliance, the message was unmistakable. NBC News reported, for example, on a striking Oval Office meeting, quote, "In an extraordinary face-to-face meeting at the White House on Wednesday, President Joe Biden and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that the U.S. will stay as long as it takes." Oh, he's told them that. As the country enters what promises to be a brutal winter of war with Russia. Biden pledged unequivocal and unbending support, saying the U.S. will give Ukraine the Patriot missile battery, as it is requested, to counter Russian missile and air attacks, and much more. Now, soon after the Ukrainian leader made its way to Capitol Hill, where Zelensky was hailed a hero, entering the House chamber Wednesday afternoon to thunderous and lengthy applause as lawmakers of both parties rose to their feet while some unfurled a large blue and yellow Ukrainian flag. As part of his remarks, the president told American lawmakers, quote, "Your money is not charity. It is an investment in global security and democracy that we will handle in the most responsible way." Those comments echoed the sentiment endorsed by Biden and many leading U.S. officials. Indeed, there was no request for anything reciprocal from Ukraine because nothing about our current collective conditions is transactional, except for Joe Biden himself and that guy named Hunter. Anyway, the White House and congressional leaders recognized U.S. support as money well spent, not just for Ukrainian interests, but for the interest of democracy, internal stability, and rule-based order around the world. For Zelensky, the hero's welcome was clearly heartening. It was also painfully overdue. In fact, watching the wartime leader yesterday, it's hard not to wonder how much better off Ukraine would be right now if Donald Trump had treated our ally as well as Biden has. Okay. Stop right there. Stop right there. Do. I gotta know right now. You mean when the Russians didn't invade Ukraine at all during his presidency? You mean when the Ukrainians were given Javelin missiles to push back any possibility of Russian tanks coming into Ukraine? You mean when Joe Biden just stood by when the Russians were was blanketing the Ukrainian border with troops, and Biden just kind of sat back and said, "Well, I need some more pudding." What the hell? I can't. Do I have Gun Fox? I hate you right now. Almost immediately after his election in 2019, Zelensky, fearing unprovoked Russian aggression, desperately looked for ways to strengthen Ukraine's relationship with the United States after receiving a congratulatory call from Trump soon after his victory. Zelensky told the then president that if an American leader could travel to Kyiv for his inauguration, it would be a great, great thing for you to do. So, how many American leaders have traveled to Ukraine for their inauguration? As a Washington Post report noted yesterday, oh, you mean the anti-Trump newspaper in the United States? Trump did not go, and neither did then Vice President Mike Pence, though he was originally supposed to. The Post analysis added that we later learned that Pence's trip was canceled after an aide to Trump's attorney Rudy Giuliani allegedly told the Ukrainians that the vice president's attendance was contingent on Zelensky announcing an investigation into Joe Biden. They keep saying that. As we've discussed many times, it was just 3 months later when Trump and Zelensky spoke again. According to an official White House call summary, the Ukrainian leader broached the subject of military aid with his American counterpart, at which point the Republican replied, "I would like you to do us a favor, though." Didn't demand a favor, just he said it like, anyway. The following was a scheme in which Trump tried to leverage security assistance to an ally in the hopes that Zelensky and his government would help the American president cheat ahead of the Oh my gosh! That his government would help the American president cheat ahead of the 2020 U.S. elections? This was an illegal extortion scheme for which the then president was impeached. Okay, this is interesting. It came across the backdrop of Trump personally forcing out a capable U.S. ambassador in Ukraine and spreading the baseless propaganda about Ukraine. But did he give him some missiles? He gave him some javelins. He gave him the javelins he asked for. As outrageous as Trump's misconduct appeared at the time, it looked worse for Vladimir Putin after Vladimir Putin launched his invasion. When did he launch the invasion? When did he launch the invasion? When did he launch the invasion? Not during Trump's watch? Oh my God. There's a lot of evidence that Trump was wrong on this issue. A lot of evidence. Well, there's just a lot of evidence, really? There's just a lot of evidence that Trump was wrong on this issue. And that in many ways, we undermine the NATO alliance and we undermine Zelensky's position in the eyes of Russia and Putin. No. See. Ukraine's not part of the NATO alliance. Holy shit. And look, again, when did they decide to invade Ukraine? Not during the Trump administration. They waited until this weak-ass president we have now got here. And now we're forced to give him billions and billions of dollars, or at least that's what they're telling us. We need to give billions and billions of dollars. By all appearances, Zelensky was pleased by the support he received yesterday, except he wants more. For Americans embarrassed by the previous administration, this was also a degree of satisfaction in seeing the United States reclaim its role as the preeminent global leader. Oh my God, Gunfox, I hate you. Again, when did Russia invade Ukraine? All right, I'm going to finish up with now there's several other articles that'll be in the links today, but I'm going to finish up with this next one that Gunfox sent me because I saw this too and I was like, what? And so this has nothing to do with Ukraine necessarily. But this is Vox. This is from Vox. Everyone knows what Vox is, I think. It's another news site. The bill to prevent Trump from stealing the next election explained. It will likely soon pass with bipartisan support. Yes, because Mr. McConnell he's not a big fan of Donald Trump, and Mitch McConnell will also push this through the Uniparty, and we have our Lisa Murkowski back, and we don't have any of them damn new senators that lost because we wouldn't give them any money because they didn't want me to be the majority leader, so I'd rather be the minority leader than have Republicans have some power, so we didn't give them any money. So you can just stick that up where your sun don't shine. Buried in the year, an omnibus spending bill is Congress's first sweeping attempt to prevent someone like former President Donald Trump from trying to steal a presidential election again. Whoa. that would imply that I see, trying. The Electoral Count Reform Act, I don't know why this is in a budget bill. This should not be in a budget bill. This is not a budget item. So this if it's not a budget item, it can't go 51% in the Senate. This is not part of a budget. Crafted by senators of both parties and endorsed by leaders Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell. And by the way, Chuck Schumer, the smarmy prick from New York, clears up any ambiguities in U.S. law about how the presidential result is determined and creates new safeguards against interference with the results. After Trump lost the key swing states in 2020, he worked feverishly to try to overturn Biden's victories in those states. Well, he tried to get a little bit of audit going on. Anyway, he pressured practically every institution or official with some role in the process, state legislators, statewide officials, and members of Congress, and the vice president, arguing that those officials should throw out statewide results rather than respecting them. Designed specifically with Trump's abuses of power in mind, the ECRA goes down with that list of institutions and offices and tries to make it more difficult for any of them to corruptly overturn a state's outcome. Here's what it does. Now, this is interesting because I think it has some things that are purview of the states, but we'll see. The best way to understand what reforms do is walk through which institutions or offices involved in the vote count they'd affect one by one. State legislators. Trump team hoped that in 2020 that GOP-controlled state legislatures would pass new laws awarding their state's electoral votes to him, not Biden. And he called GOP legislative leaders to the White House to try to pressure them to act. No legislatures did, in fact, interfere with their state's results, but fear rose that they could do so next time around. So the ECRA stresses several times that states must appoint electors in accordance with state laws enacted prior to Election Day. No mischief allowed after the fact. States have set the rules of the game before the election and can't change them after. Well, wait a minute. If that's the case, then how did the courts allow the Pennsylvania? I'm treading on thin ice here. How did the courts allow Pennsylvania to allow votes to come in after their deadlines that were in state law? I'm curious. I don't understand it. But let's see, state officials. How it affects state officials. Trump pressured governors and other statewide officials to not certify results showing Biden winning or overturn the outcome, most notably Georgia, with his urging Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger here they go again with this find 11,780 votes for him and his attacks on Governor Brian Kemp for certifying results. Again, they did not act this time. The ECRA clarifies that the executive of each state governor has a duty to certify appointments of electors, but just in case an election denying governor plans some shenanigans, now that's an interesting way to put it. The ECRA also says that federal courts have oversight over these certifications and creates a special expedited process by which the courts can quickly hear challenges, which could then rapidly be appealed to the Supreme Court. It's going to be interesting on that one because that's a jurisdiction issue. So whose jurisdiction is that on state elections? It's not the federal government. It's a state government. So anyway, it also restricts the vice president. The vice president oversees the joint session of Congress on January 6th. That counts the electoral votes. That role was long understood to be ceremonial, but Trump tried to pressure the vice president, Mike Pence, to make a power grab and throw out state results. Pence refused, but a future V might well be more cynical or fanatical. Yeah. So the ECRA makes it unmistakably clear that the vice president's role in counting electoral votes is solely ministerial. He or she shall have no power to solely determine, accept, reject, or otherwise adjudicate or resolve disputes over electoral votes. The bill says that is, no vice president has the power to do what Trump wanted Pence to do. What, delay until they could figure out if there were, whatever, I don't care. And then Congress, when Congress did gather, now this is going to be interesting. Let's see what this last part is, and then I got to get out of here. When Congress did gather to count the electoral votes on January 6, 2021, Trump's allies tried to take advantage of the process for lodging objections to the state results to delay the outcome. If just one member of the House and one senator object to a state outcome, the joint session of Congress has to break up and each chamber had to debate and vote on the objection. This effort was largely abandoned after a mob stormed the Capitol, but a sufficiently motivated obstructionist could have delayed the results for many more hours. Oh my gosh. Or even days. simply by making baseless objections. Now that's a very, very, very interesting provision in this bill, because I distinctly remember this happening in the 2016 election. And had they done that, because remember all those people in the Congress, the Democrats who objected to some of the state counts, and no senator did the same. Imagine if a senator had gone along with them, then they would have maybe delayed the results for hours or even days because of their baseless objections. Now, there was hope. There was also hope from Trump's team that if Pence did refuse to count enough state electoral votes, Biden's electoral vote count would have fallen below the majority necessary to win, and the election would have been thrown to the House of Representatives to decide, voting by state delegations. Republicans controlled more state delegations, even though Democrats had a House majority. But Pence held strong, and this didn't happen. The ECRA changes the congressional process in several ways. First, just one representative and senator objecting can no longer break up the vote count. Will take 1/5 of both the House and Senate objecting for that to happen. Note that it's possible. There will really be a problem with the state result sometimes, so Congress is retaining the power to deal with such a matter. They're just setting a higher bar to action. But if the House and Senate do not do a separate deal with objections, time to debate and vote on each objection is limited to 2 hours, so no indefinite delays. Well, that's interesting, because that kind of goes against Senate rules. But anyway. Second, the only permissible grounds for an objection are if the electors aren't lawfully certified, or if an elector's vote isn't regularly given, and Congress must treat certifications from state governors as conclusive, except if courts say otherwise. That this is at least an attempt to stop far-fetched objections from being made as political statements, as Republicans did in 2020 and Democrats did in 2016 and 2004. Oh my gosh. Vox actually acknowledged that. I'm shocked. I am shocked. So anyway, they go into more details how the rest of it works. I'm not going to do that because I must leave. I want to thank you, though. You know what? If you're watching a replay, put a comment. Tell me something in the comment section what you think about this last article. Do you think this is just some bullshit? Well, in 2000, I don't know about 2000, because I mean, Florida was a shit show, and but so their objections, beyond all the time that they spent dealing with hanging chads and all the chads who were doing the counting, I don't know. But anyway, all right, guys, this is it. I got to go. Thank you for being here today on the Morning Night Live. Please share the stream after the show. And if you got a comment, throw it in the comment section. If you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section. Hit the like button before you go, because there's only 21 likes, and there's a lot more people than that here. So make sure you hit the like button or pound that plussy on Rumble. And that's it. I got to go. Thanks, everybody. I'm like I said, I'm probably going to stream this afternoon. Tomorrow, hopefully, if what I do today works, we'll have a pretty big show tomorrow. So I'll leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. I got to go. My name's Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.